Taking a little hike along the Platte River here. Notice this is ripped off kind of across the trail, and this little guy, and then there's a bigger one here that you can see it was broken on this side, and it's pretty significant. You know, maybe snow and ice did it, but I don't see the fence damaged in any way, and it's right next to it. But then the beavers have since chewed all the ends off of this one here. So I mean, that tells me this has been here for weeks without anybody messing with it. You know, anglers come down here, used to be able to hunt on Denver water property, it said, but can't do that anymore. But the bighorn sheep come down and make their way into this canyon, and they can be seen just a little further up. So I'm gonna take a walk in here, just kind of off-season style, and see what we can find. This here is the Lockheed Martin Marietta facility. Strange goings on over there. Military contractors. Some more trees down. Could be weather related. It has snowed here in the past month or so, but it's kind of got that squatchy feel. You know how they like a little area like that, little depressed, lower in elevation, surrounded by this stuff. And then who knows, you know, they might be attracted to what's going on over here at night. Many years ago, I saw some flaming red fireballs that were going from the mount, or through the air and disappearing behind the mountains. It was about 10 miles that way. I often wondered if it was like a Project Bluebeam thing. And then you could go back to the incident at Kecksburg, Pennsylvania, with that acorn-shaped UFO that was spotted. I heard somebody trying to relate that to Sasquatch recently, and it was actually really interesting to follow. I'd never even thought it could be Bigfoot related, but you know, that could be disinformation too. But then again, there might be truth to it. There were sightings of UFOs and aliens in Whitehall, New York back in the 70s. So you just never know where these things come from, what they're made of, and if there's others throughout the universe. Just like we got human beings on Earth, and then there's purported human aliens that could totally blend into our society. Maybe the same is the case with the Bigfoot. Maybe there's ones that are indigenous and that have become indigenous, and ones that subsequently are being seeded here. I don't know, it's kind of fringe information, but like I said, you got to keep your mind open to the possibilities and just take it into consideration of what could be possible in order to find that truth outlet wherever it may lie. So, all right, I'll let you know what we find down here. Look at this picnic table out in the middle of the river. It's just sitting on that sheet of ice. I don't know if it's sitting on some rocks out there. Maybe a fisherman could have put it out there. There's another picnic table right along here somewhere. That ain't it. Maybe it is. Anyway, just don't know how that ended up in the middle of the river. A little spot down here by the river. Just kind of see some fresh breaks like this, snapped off. That was a living tree. That wasn't anything that was gonna die. You can see the buds here where it would sprout out into some leaves if it had stayed connected to the main tree. But and you know, I always say maybe snow load, you know, could have pulled it off, but then again, I don't know. I don't see it everywhere. You'd think there'd be trees down everywhere, but it's just kind of in these select little Bigfoot zones, or you know, places where you might consider it a wallow, just a little stomping ground. You know, human and Sasquatch both, really. This was the other one I saw from the trail. It's got leaves on it, so the fact that that snapped off, it's a big, strong, wet, living wood. Just it's the only one besides that other one. There was a couple on the way in I documented. But not sure. Not 100% definitive, and yet more than likely, you know, we see the same stuff over and over. There's an old break there. My friend just pointed this one out to me. He says, look, there's no roots right here. You know, no stump where it came from. And yet it's sitting in the crook of this tree, going up. All the bark's removed at the end. Does that mean that the Bigfoot used this to gain some elevation and walk up here? Woo, and hang out on this point and look out at the human activity, at the people driving by here? Could be. Could very well be that. Pretty secure, a little wobbly if you stomp on it and jump. But this would be the perfect high up perch. You could sit here and look for deer, just get a better vantage point. But makes a very good point. But a beautiful little spot down here by the river that we're checking out that leads up into the national forest. If you keep going up the trail, it's 7 miles from here to get to the national forest. And that's no joke. That's how long this canyon goes. But you can walk the whole thing. You can ride your bike all the way to the Colorado Trail out there. So definitely a good hunting ground, good spot for Sasquatch to come down from the higher elevations and get close to human activity or follow the game down, whatever the case may be. Look at this guy. He got demolished about 11 feet up. Maybe that whole tree fell down there. I don't know why that happened. Got some birds or woodpeckers to my left. Something's making noise in the trees over here. We'll walk through here and see what's over there. Could be some deer over there with their droppings. It's a big demolished tree though. And then something has removed all the bark on all of these trees, on all of this, all the, you know, where'd it all go? There had to have been more than that. Maybe not. But would the bark just jump off like that? Like here? I don't think the bark would be stripped. That bark wouldn't have been stripped. It would have been intact. There's no way all that bark is just going to be gone like that. To me, that seems a little unnatural. Take a picture of this one. It looks cool. Kind of weird here. Just this bark's like broken off but connected to the tree material through here. So it's creating like almost like a little arrow. Little directional. Whatever. Somebody lost their bait. Lost their stringer here. Wonder why. Is it stolen or why it would be in here? Hidden, I guess. They didn't want to carry it or forgot it. Kind of cool. This is simple and dismissive, yet if you look at the little intricacies of it, it almost looks like it's been heavily decorated, because it's just this one lean, old lean put on this structure here. But this looks like a pattern, like how it's deteriorating between all the joints. These are like the joints. and then it's deteriorating here, 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 like it's almost been withered, like it's been touched and thumbed or something. There's even these lines down here. Broken, 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 broken. I mean, maybe that's how it weathers down over the years or not, but it just kind of adds some little flair to it. You don't see it on the upper portion, maybe because the bark is thicker. I'm not absolutely sure, but this has long remained untouched in an area that's probably frequented by them. So this is probably meaningful. Maybe it's just deteriorating like that, and every year these brambles grow up, or whatever this is. Tamarisk, I think. No, that's not tamarisk. I don't know what this stuff is. It doesn't look that thick, actually. I don't know why this hasn't been touched, but it definitely looks like it's been left here and had little pieces touched up on it down here, on the ends down here. Anyway, just a possibility. Cool little piece. I'm just gonna film these because they look cool. These old iron wires, I don't know what they are. Just have a cool look to them. Remind me of birds' heads. Take a couple pictures. Just found a spot here where the owl spit up its kill, threw up the bones. Pretty cool. Probably ate a mouse or something, and that's what's left of it. Look at that's at a perfect 90-degree angle. I mean, I know a tree fell. There's some stuff here, leads up into this. I know a tree fell, but one, what made it fall? And then secondly, and it wasn't a major snow, by the way, that we had. It was pretty minimal. It's just not melting because it's not getting sunny for long. They're spraying the chemtrails all day. But that's like a deliberate 90-degree right there. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that it looks like a glyph, but I don't know, is it connected? No, it's not connected. Figuratively, but not literally, anyway. So here's a structure I haven't personally seen before, but my friend brought me here and showed me. We just had to walk a few miles down the canyon. Maybe a mile and a half here, a mile and a half back or so. But this is kind of cool. It's not brand new. It's been here since at least the summer. I've seen it in a picture, but I've never actually walked here. But looking pretty good. Kind of working with this tree, possibly. All leaned on it. Those two, really. Which one is it? This one and this one. But even without potential energy connectivity to a tree, it could be just through the earth, really. But cool little spot, flat little spot, really high up around here, like an amphitheater. Could you imagine one just letting out a roar off these cliffs at night? This doesn't look like a huge structure, so female, juvenile, I don't know how big of a creature would make something like this. If a larger one would, probably not though, but I could be wrong. Just putting the thought out there, seeing what people think, and just on to the next structure, I guess. It's really beautiful and peaceful down here by the river. Cyclists coming. There's another one. Ooh, this one looks good. Yeah. That's a nice one right there. His look deformed or something. Those look weird. It's a pretty big buck. Big rack on there. Man, they just keep coming. This guy's got a long, tall rack. Kind of open, but keep running up out of here.